Today we'll be reacting to Shannon Sharpe has some serious allegations by the boy Omi. Has yet again got himself back in some controversy. Has been a lot in the past couple years if you've been keeping tuned. This one is blowing up as might be the one to finally take him down. Do I believe such things? No. Me personally, I believe it's all false. Somebody just trying to get a bag out of a situation. But we're gonna see what the boy Omizi has to say.
I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs. Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old out there that can love you old.
I've always took this stance. It's just something about old ass niggas and young females. Like I understand, don't get me wrong, I truly understand that a guy, his value goes up with him in age, that old saying. I just don't understand the 60-year-old dating the 20s and the 19s, and it just never was a good look to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking no OG who has sacrificed and worked his whole life to get to where he need to be, and now that his money is flowing, he want him something young, and yeah, I understand. Me personally, I'm not with that. I'm more of the young guy chasing the auntie type of way. Like aunties take care of you. Auntie can teach you some stuff. Auntie damn sure gonna cook for you. And you know what I'm saying? It just comes with a lot with dating an older woman. Vice versa. An older guy dating a younger chick, you gotta teach her everything, bro. Imagine, listen. Imagine you lived your entire life. They learn everything you need to learn. They got all the game, got your finances, your credit, all that in order. You get a girl fresh out of high school, 19, 20, 21. It's 21-year-olds who ain't even got a bank account. Like, you literally gotta teach her everything. Me personally, I'd rather take the auntie. But that ain't for me, because I'm in a relationship currently with somebody who's younger than me. But that's not the point. She ain't that much younger than me. Let's get back to the video.
You trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon.
Damn, it looks like Monique was hella right about Shannon Sharpe. Over the past couple years, Uncle Freaky Shannon Sharpe has gone through a meteoric rise, seemingly becoming a staple in the sports media sphere. Right now, his contract is up with Colin Cowherd's The Volume Network, and he is slated, based on valuations, to land a lucrative $100 million deal for his famous podcast, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. Now, just a couple months ago, Fox Sports Network went through a slew of allegations about the sexual deviancy between Skip Bayless and some of the other cast and co-hosts like Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Aicho. Now, naturally, no one knows what happened to that lawsuit, but one thing that stuck out the most was that everybody's freaky Uncle Shannon Sharpe seemingly skated by without any sort of scratch in that situation. He was there during all the accusation years, but nothing stuck to his jacket. But all that will come crashing down when everyone's favorite and most reliable...
That's true. Unc has a reputation in the past of being the freakiest uncle on the internet. Shannon has that reputation. If y'all tune in to Shannon, y'all will know Unc a nasty nigga, and he does not try to hide it. Unc does not care. Shannon's gonna be him completely.
Attorney. I'm talking about John the Baptist level of respect and trust. Tony Busby came out with a new lawsuit of a young woman alleging that Shannon Sharpe had raped her for $50 million. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and break the fourth wall because I know somebody's not gonna be able to understand the level of sarcasm that I'm trying to put down. I do not believe that Tony Busby is any sort of respectable man. I think that he is a liar, as people call an ambulance chaser as an attorney. And this is the same lawyer that attached his name to a lawsuit claiming that Drewski was a part of some freaky stuff. The one who was also representing somebody who was then tasked with lying on Jay-Z and P. Diddy, mucking up that whole situation.
This dude has a terrible reputation, bro. Do your own research on this guy.
Literally, she came out and retracted everything that she said, saying that Tony Busby asked her to lie. So I do not believe that Tony Busby is any sort of respectable man. I just want to put that out there.
I'm not a lawyer, but Shannon Sharpe is being sued for $50 million in a lawsuit that accuses him of a number of things. And I read the 14-page complaint, so let me tell you exactly what Jane Doe is alleging Shannon Sharpe did. Now, the lawsuit was filed by attorney Tony Busby, who we know well, on behalf of his Jane Doe client. The suit says that Jane Doe met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in LA in early 2023 when she was 19 and Shannon Sharpe was in his 50s. Sharpe aggressively pursued her.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Shannon. 50 and 19. That's a 31-year gap, cuz. That's ridiculous, man.
her, and she eventually gave
Not a
him
fan.
her number. But before the two of them even hang out, he apparently tries to get her to sign an NDA. She refuses to sign it, so he eventually stopped asking and invited her over. Jane Doe agrees to go over, and according to the complaint, the very first...
See, this is another thing. And y'all know, if y'all been around the channel for a while, it wouldn't be a Ty Global video if we didn't yap a lot. So this is another thing I have concern with. A lot of y'all favorite celebrities, a lot of y'all big influencers, they also could be in these big type of allegation situations. However, the only thing sparing them is what she just said, them NDA. Like, for example, you remember the situation that blew up with Casanat last year, the girl who tried to out him for a number of things, but he got on stream and came at her as far as the NDA, and kind of like, you know what I'm saying, it was a lot of stuff that she couldn't put out, and he was reminding her of what she signed. So it's a lot of the details of the story that we'll never get about a lot of our favorite celebrities, but you know what I'm saying, that's how they cover their bases. They allowed to get as freaky as they want behind the scenes because you signed such NDA. Now, not to say that crimes should be protected by NDA. I don't agree with that. If that's being the case, something needs to be done about that one.
First night was disturbing and unsettling.
Now let's get some things out in the open. Shannon Sharpe was in his mid-50s. She was 19, asked for an NDA. She didn't sign it. These are all things that are alleged by the plaintiff in the situation, but apparently on the first day that she had went over there, she had gotten sexual with Shannon Sharpe. In the first night that she was there, they had sex, and it was noticed that it was on camera but without Jane Doe's consent. It's very important. Then the next day, Shannon Sharpe invites her back to the house. Again, all alleged by Jane Doe. She shows up 5 minutes late. Shannon Sharpe is upset, grabs her by her neck, and then this kicks off their 2-year toxic relationship that they have that's filled with control, violence, anger, a bunch of different emotions, etc., etc. Now again,
this is a tough, that's a tough line right there, because we all grown, well, most of my viewers. The whole neck grabbing thing, you know where I'm going with that. So I even seen the recording, I don't know if you're gonna put in this video, the recording of her trying to get him to say that he would choke her, I don't know if I can say it, that he would grab her in that area in public. And like, in his mind, you can see the mindset that he was in the recording of the whole flirtatious, jokingly sense as far as what I've taken from it. But she's trying to trap it on some abusive and overly aggressive and unwanted type of contact, which that's that line that you play on with them type of, sexual and, hey.
Yeah, all these things are alleged by Jane Doe herself in this complaint via Tony Busby. Shannon Sharpe himself unequivocally denied everything that was going on. He said that it was a consensual relationship. He even submitted a statement that included text messages, or at least typed up versions of the text message, that included explicit and graphic text messages initiated by the young woman in question, also exposing her name to be Gabrielle Zuniga, which she was going by Jane Doe, but Shannon Sharpe felt the need to put it out there. Now, the purpose of this is to portray that Shannon Sharpe himself was free and clear. This was a consensual relationship, and now he's being extorted. What I found very interesting in these text messages is that Shannon is into some pretty nasty stuff. No. I don't even necessarily mean the backdoor things. I don't care about that. But there's a couple text messages in here that are very telling. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me. That's my daddy. F. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it, because you're gonna be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Oh, Shannon's into race play. This is a clear fetish.
Alright, okay. Look, let's not act like y'all ain't into some freaky stuff behind the scenes. Like, everybody got their own little kinks or whatever. The role play thing in that manner, well, first of all, let's just go and get that out there. I'm not the type to be in the role play. I can't be serious enough to put on the role play. Like, me and my girl, we've had this conversation before about, you know what I'm saying, like maybe even putting on costumes or this, that, and the third. But even her personality is like, we not gonna take the situation serious. If you come in here with this whole, like, it may be cute, it may be very visually attractive, all that and the third, but me actually acting out a role and getting into character, it's not for me.
Sization of a black
But the
man
race
who
role
is
play
bigger
is-
and stronger, and these play on
that's
words are
insane.
giving very much race play. I did find it interesting that Shannon Sharpe did not release his side of the text messages. I mean, if it was truly consensual, you should have no problem with putting out these things. Ultimately, you don't need to put these things out in the first place. This is court of public
Exactly. It's
opinion. This
nobody's
does not
business.
ultimately matter in the say so, at least to me. But I did find it weird that Shannon Sharpe introduced the fact that he does have a race play fetish to the conversation in an attempt to exonerate himself. Now, Tony Busby and his collective were very much well equipped for something like this, so they had a clip ready for Shannon, ready for Uncle Freaky
I
Shannon.
don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like.
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well,
What do you say to that?
I don't.
You know what?
I don't know what to
I
say.
don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
You're coming to LA tomorrow.
Yes.
This is what I.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big.
See, look, man. Look, bro. That is clearly look from what I take. From what I'm getting from her playful. Look, she even got I could be wrong. But she even got a playful demeanor in her voice. You can clearly tell this is how they've conversated with each other in the past. We all got some inside jokes that we've had with people that we had relations with. Everybody has an inside sexual act joke with somebody that they've been intimate with. And it seems like this might have been their thing. I could be wrong at the end of the day, but this is just how I'm viewing the situation. And
Well, I
now
got
she's
you.
trying to take something that they do on, a continuous basis and trying to set him up to make it seem like that's just what
So
I'm saying.
small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that
And she's white. I thought she was Latina. Yeah, it might be GG.
you did with the shit you did to me.
Now, that doesn't state that he raped this woman. I do think that they have some sort of weird relationship going on. I wouldn't talk to my girl like that, or maybe this wasn't his girl. I don't know. I think that that is weird. But with that being said, Shannon Sharpe knew that Tony Busby was ready to play hardball. So he skipped out on ESPN the next day, skipped out on his nightcap show and any sort of postings, and went on the offensive. Sat down, read all the documents, and found that Tony Busby potentially had a piece of evidence that was so
Seen
damning
this on
that
Twitter.
he needed to get out in front of this. Shannon Sharpe needed to put himself in front of this and put down some heat to get it off his name.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby. Telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do.
19-year-old OnlyFans model named Gabby, aka Carly. Oh, Uncle Freaky Shannon Sharpe. I know this is a complete side note. I think Shannon Sharpe is extremely weird with the way that he is very much an open sexual person. Like, I don't think that sexuality should be hidden. It's okay to say that you're attracted to men, attracted to women, attracted to whatever you. Shannon Sharpe goes about
crazy.
presenting how sexual he is over the past couple of years is disgusting. And the opportunity to send out whatever text he needed to display that this was a consensual relationship, he decided to put in the fact that there was a portion of it where he wanted his B-star eaten. I don't know. I think you could have did that without doing that. In the same conversation, he knows that there's a whole 10-minute video that he would release if he had it. We don't need 10 minutes of Shannon Sharpe stroking and poking on film in order to know that this was a consensual not relationship. Like, I think that shit is so weird. So how you don't have the video when it was recorded at your house? Maybe that was made up. Look, I don't know what's going on here, and it's really not my place in space to pass judgment. I don't defend celebrities because I know celebrities do weirdo stuff. There is very much a possibility that Shannon Sharpe.
I want to make sure I'm not coming out that way in this video as well. I'm not trying to defend Shannon Sharpe just because he's Shannon Sharpe, and I like his basketball content and this, that, and third, his sport take. However, I've seen personally in real life, I've seen situations where it's good when it's good, but when it's bad, one of the parties tries to take it and flip it completely against the person just out of pure emotion, and I don't condone that. So if this is that, I'm totally in disagreement with it. But if it's true that she was, If it comes out to be true, it is what it is.
Uncle Freaky Shannon Sharpe at that definitely did all these things that he's being accused of. However, semicolon, whatever,
consensual?
this is Tony Busby. I think the simple fact that if a lawyer by any other name was attached to this case, people will be looking at Shannon Sharpe much, much, much crazier. But Tony Busby is known to be a fraudster. He is known to be some sort of gimmick. Like, he is known to put out fake lawsuits.
And that's on
like
her
that.
fault. That's why I think a lot of people ain't taking this situation too seriously, because of the lawyer that she chose to go with.
Most of the criticism that I've seen online and even have about this situation doesn't have anything to do with the allegations in the case. Most of the criticism comes from Shannon Sharpe, who is 56 years old, having sex with a 19-year-old girl.
I'm Shannon Sharpe, talking to a 19-year-old. I will admit that it is fucking weird. I'm 31. 19-year-olds look like children to me, but not all of them.
Bro, I'm 26 and that's insane to me. I can't, like, no, bro. 19.
Oh, that's so gross, Jonathan. No, it isn't. There's some 19-year-olds that look like 25-year-old women. And I have news for you guys. 25-year-old women will always be attractive to everyone. I know you hate I know that you hate that shit. I was but a young lad. High school, middle school. Guess who the finest women were? Around that 21 to 25. That's, well, let's say 21 to 28. When I was a kid, that's why I was like, damn, the women look good. When I was those exact ages, I was like, damn, these women look good. I'm 31 now. Those women still look good.
I think that there's a difference between those acting upon them. And look, I know the age of consent police are going to come out of the woodwork and say all these different things. But there's a lot of things that come with these sorts of power dynamics due to age, due to status, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's important to address all the matters in the situation, especially because there's so little validity to a Tony Busby lawsuit. It's okay to jump to the point to say that, Shannon Sharpe, you are an Uncle Freaky nasty dude when it comes to dealing with women.
This is a very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's and I ain't talking about just Shannon. I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability.
All this is so timely to me. Not the lawsuit. You know, he got announced that he was getting $100 million or supposedly getting $100 million for his podcast on Friday. And then Monday, a lawsuit wanting half of that comes out. I think that is an outrageous amount of money. But that's not what's timely to me. It's interesting how, in a clip I still have yet to see, Trick Daddy a week ago said that he likes young girls. Apparently he got lambasted for it.
I tried dating women my age. That's the hardest shit in the world.
Oh.
They stuck in their fucking ways. They wonder why they can't keep them in.
Now look, you know they gonna get you for this now.
I wouldn't give a damn. Them old hoes need to lower their standards.
Tracy Ellis Ross says that she likes younger guys. She got some praise from it, or at least some more neutral responses from it.
And we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
And then Shannon Sharpe,
Now,
Uncle Free...
Look, let's pay attention to that dynamic. When it's,
Freaky Shannon Sharpe, the next week,
when it's
literally gets into a situation with a younger girl, consensual, unconsensual, the word is on the curb, but he's still with a younger girl.
I do not feel bad for Shannon Sharpe. Actually, nail him to the wall. Men like Shannon Sharpe go after women whose frontal lobe have yet to develop, and then when they prove to you that they are still children, it's, how dare she try to...
I don't know this woman at all, but you put yourself in this category. There are women her age. I don't even know how old she is. I'm just assuming. I'd say like mid-30s, early 40s. Your frontal lobe has yet to still come in. I know women 30s, 40s who still
to manipulate me. How dare she try to get money from me? Why do you think she was fucking with your old ass? Oh, really?
I am not that red pill guy, but man, marriage is sounding kind of cool. It's at least giving you some responsibility so you're not out here. And I do think it's also interesting because Shannon Sharpe was one of the people who had so much to say when it came to the Travis Hunter situation and how he was being potentially shaken down. People could see the writing on the wall, et cetera with that.
Young lady, for you to talk about Well, the reason why I left him on for my inbox, well, you know, he's younger than me and he cheated. You see, now you threw that man on the bus. We didn't need to know that. Why you put that man business in the street? Are you perfect? I don't like the part of oversharing in a relationship because it was unnecessary.
But in the same token and breath, Shannon Sharpe could not see this one coming and set himself up after having years of experience of potentially being set up or dealing with women who didn't have his best interest at heart. Irony is crazy. Shannon Sharpe has been trying to show us how much sex he really gets into, how much deviant behavior he really gets into. I don't know if he's trying to avoid some sort of allegations or whatever the case may be, but whether it is him talking about making a girl do some nasty things on Nightcap with Ocho Cinco and Coach Prime.
You know, I'm the back shop king. So she passed gas.
Yes, sir.
She said, excuse me. I said, that's all right, baby. I generally make them shit. Ooh. It kept going.
Yeah, on that note, we're gonna stop it though. I like Omi's video. He does a good breakdown. Man, let's see you get out of this one, bro. I don't think this situation is gonna stick with Shannon Sharpe at all. I definitely don't see these people getting $50 million out of Shannon Sharpe at all. Especially the lawyer that she chose. And with all that being said, man, y'all get money, stay out of trouble, and love your people. Till the next video.